Welcome to another episode, Bamhek TV. Today I got a very dear to my heart topic, and it's a sequel to our last video on manifestations, right? We're going to be talking about affirmations, the five powerful truths about affirmations, and we're going to dive right into it. If you haven't liked, subscribed, share these videos, please do so. We're trying to become a huge influencer on the YouTube sphere because there's a lot of entertainment out there, and this is entertaining, but it's definitely more than that. We're trying to change forgetfulness for remembrance. So we're trying to just get people in this mind frame of acknowledging and recognizing who they truly are. And the way we actually create is through our mouth. That's going to be one of the topics in our video today. And we're going to be talking about what are affirmations really, neuroscience behind it, some of spiritual truths about it. We're going to give you again some workable techniques to keep up your affirmations, and that you are already affirming. Use what the programming is, right? So hopefully you have fun with this. I really love this topic because it truly changed my life, and that's one of the exercises that I'm going to give you. But the 369 exercise was just amazing for me. Going to our first bullet point on this video is going to be what are affirmations, right? And affirmations are, it's speech, right? It's what you are currently saying, both out loud and in your mind. We are constantly making affirmations. Some people choose to do affirmations that are conducive for their manifestation, and all your affirmations are what is manifesting in your life, right? And I say that because once I started doing my 369, which is one of the exercises that I will give you, my life completely to change. I started to see things differently just by what I spoke. Affirmation it's just not a feel good technique, right? It's not just some guru shit. No, it's really, and I'm going to talk about it on the next bullet point, which is the neuroscience behind it and how the brain reprogram itself. When you're making affirmations, it's an intentionality behind it. You are deciding to rewire your brain as well as reframe the way you see spirit working in your life. Science call it cognitive reframing your way of thinking. And spirit calls it faith in action, right? If you go into Christianity and religion, and I knew these verses off the top of my head, but I'm going to read them to you. And Proverbs 18:21 says that death and life are in the power of the tongue, right? Then Romans 12:2 talk about be transformed by the renewing of your mind. If your current creations, right, or your current manifestations, which is what you get to see in real time about your creations, are not what you want them to be, it means that what's coming out of your mouth, right, your affirmations, it's another scripture that says that out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. So a lot has to do with what's coming into your brain, right? I'm pretty jealous with what I allow in my mind. I sometimes watch a game because I like sports, and sometimes I watch The Office or Everyone Loves Raymond or King of Queens, just silly comedies because they are pretty lighthearted. I'm very aware of what I allow to come into my heart through my eyes and my ears, so that what's coming out, it's translating into a life of abundance. And that's what we were talking about yesterday. I don't want you to think that abundance is only the rich, beautiful, great situations, but also the ones that help us grow, the ones that don't breathe comfort. I consider those also part of my abundance. To talk a little bit about how neuroscience back affirmations claims, we want to talk about neuroplasticity, right? Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to rewire itself by forming new neural connections. This guy, again, Joe Dispenza, please go get this book. It talks a lot about it. Same as Evolve Your Brain. Again, all these knowledge and understanding that I've been gaining is a lot through exiting and collecting information from higher realms, but a lot is from the information that's available to us here. So we want to make sure that we are getting wisdom from wherever it could be found. And if you want a more in-depth study on how to rewire your brain, definitely go read Joe's stuff or watch his videos on it. But repeating affirmations, they activate the brain by forming new neural connections. He has it on real time how people thinking differently rewire the neurons. Neurons wire together. What's happening right now is that because we have become accustomed to a way of speaking, our brain thinks in that manner, because what you speak is not only what you say with your words, but the chatter or the conversations happening in your brain. It's what your neurons continue to walk. The synapses or the connections that the neurons make, they are going like this, right? But the more you think about that thought, the more they continue to fire together until you have a permanent connection, and that becomes your normal way of thinking. And until you start thinking differently, you can't create differently, because consciousness dictates the universe. We have to be very mindful of what we talk, right? What we say. And now there's a study that found that self-affirmation activates reward centers in the brain, encouraging behavior change and increased receptivity to positive feedback, right? What's the feedback? It's what you get back. Having positive feedback through affirmation is actually science. There's studies that study was done in 2016 by Falk. You can go look it up online. Then you have a default mode network and self-talk. The default mode network, the DMN, is active during internal dialogue. Affirmations help interrupt negative self-talk loops and replace them with intentional beliefs. You see, we were talking about the intentionality of it. But default mode network and self-talk. Default mode network is what is constantly being repetitive in your brain, right? I'm not good enough. I don't have enough. Whatever it is, whatever the self-talk is, that's because we thought about it so much and said it so much, boop, now it's stuck and it becomes our truth when it really isn't. Another science that or another therapy, right, that psychologists use is CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And when on CBT, it's a lot about cognitive restructuring. I was just having a conversation with my daughter about that. You are looking at this situation in your life that is so important to you based on the traumas of the past. So how can you get a better outcome if you are still feeling the same emotions of the past? CBT is about challenging and replacing negative thoughts. You are good enough. You're a God. You are a God creator. Look at your life and you'll see that everything that's present in your life today is your own doing. You are a creator. You determine what you say, right? And in turn, what the conversations are in your brain, and in turn, what that does for your current manifestations or what you see in front of you. I love you. So affirmations function similarly, changing belief systems by repetition and reaffirming, right? That's what science have to say. So it's not just me saying all out of body stuff that I got. And no, there is science that back up the power of affirmations. Then I read to you those two scriptures about spirituality. In Hinduism and Buddhism, they use mantras, right? I am divine. That's Aham Brahmansi, direct affirmation of identity and power. I am divine. I am prosperous. You can have a mantra. It's in the present dictating what it is that you are. Jesus said it. I am the light of the world. I am the resurrection and the life. I am in present. That was his identity. What is your identity? What it is today, that's number one. Let's see where we are today with the way that we speak, and that will tell you how to do your affirmations. That's what neuroplasticity is, right? Thoughts are gonna carve neural pathways. The more you think about something, the more you'll think in that way. You gotta light up that reward system of the brain by speaking good things. As fMRI studies, they show that affirmations light that up. And then you have CBT technique, that are affirmations as microtherapy for daily thought hygiene. That's cognitive behavioral therapy. That's what I was talking to my daughter about. When you as an adult look at your past under that lens of a mature adult that knows how to distinguish between emotions and how an emotion of the past is leaving me stuck in the past when I want a new present. That's what I'm working on life right now with my own kids. I got another child, my 19-year-old, he's on it. He got his daily routines that he do, and I'm sure affirmations are a part of it because you see it in his life, how he's progressing. And then I have another kid, my 21-year-old Penny, and there's no shot to Penny, but Penny chooses to speak about what's happening in her life right now. So you have a contrast, and I see it through my own children. I have my father-in-law, he's the most negative person you'll know. And guess what? Everything in his life, and he said, "God, this and that, and nothing works for me. It's always me, like my luck." And then you see it repeated, and in the smallest things. He drowns in a glass of water. He drowns before he even gets half a glass of water. He's drowning. And you see it in his health and his relationships. So I'm not talking shit about anybody. I'm just saying you can look at the examples of these affirmations throughout your life, in your own life. Words have a creative power, right? Words, we have the Amber on the Darius J. Wright YouTube channel, right? Amber Hayes. She cured herself from diabetes. And she did a test on water, and you can see it with Dr. I can't remember his name, but a Japanese doctor that had water in two neutral controlled environments and spoke bad words and words of hatred and words of limitation to one, and then words of love and encouragement to the other. And one, the water, after it was flash froze, looked like lava. It didn't have nothing. It was just... And then when they flash froze, the water that was only spoken to and that listened to, and you are all water. The one that got flash froze, it was like all different types of snowflakes. It looked like literally snowflakes. They had all these beautiful shapes. Guess what? You are over 70% water. So every time you speak these things, you are programming every cell in your body. Everything that moves through water is being reprogrammed or programmed by what you say. So no wonder you get the life that you want by what you speak. That's why affirmations are so important. And our next video is going to be on visualizations. But first step is watch what's coming out of your mouth, because life and death are attached to it. Having diabetes is a death sentence. If you stop taking your insulin type 2, you die. She stopped taking it and she's alive and well and doing better right now, right? So you have plenty of examples. I'm just reminding you of these things because on the other side, you speak things into existence, same as here. There's no time lapse a lot of times between what you speak, which there is not only by words, but your thoughts are speaking, same as here. I get so excited about this topic because it was so special to me to see my life transform and see all the miracles that happened and still happen. And I want to give you that, and I want to remind you of that. I'm a resource, but definitely Joe Dispenza is a phenomenal resource. Check him out. Take some time. That's the thing. We need to really do these things. It's not just saying it sounds good. No. When you're done, I got a homework for you. Leave it in the comments. I got my pen. I got my paper. I did my affirmations. Post them. Post your affirmations on the comments. Let's get into that right now. daily practices, right? We know that all this research backs it up. We know that neuroplasticity is a thing. You can rewire your brain into new patterns of thinking. It's been taught to us in all this old texts about wisdom, such as the Bible and the Quran and the Bhagavad Gita, and you name it. All of them speak about the power of the words, right? You have this whole new law of attraction. That's faith. If you study the law of attraction, Abraham Hicks and stuff like that, you mean other beings of higher intelligence letting us know, say these things, reprogram your brain, right? And now you have me also reminding you. This is all backed up by science, by wisdom, by higher intelligent beings that are trying to help us, right? And that's the next stage for humanity, is to take your words and transmute them into power, into health, into love, into abundance. So the daily practice is going to be the 369, right? You're gonna, let's do a sample affirmation here right now. So the way you're gonna do your 369 is sit there quietly at first and reflect on the roles that you have in life. I am a partner to my wife. I am a father to my children. I am a man to myself. I am a creature of the Creator. I am a creature that creates. I start with my identity. I am light. I am clean. I am light. I am one with all that is. So what that does is put me on a spirit of unity. I am one with all that is. I am the creator of my reality. Feel that when you say it, feel what you're saying. Really get on that space where you're feeling this new affirmations that you're saying about yourself. Start with who you are to yourself. I say, I am young, I am strong, I am limber, I am healthy. I started saying these things when I couldn't move my back. I was in pain. Like now, I can touch with my legs straight. I can touch the floor with the palms of my hands, right? Because I said it on my affirmations. I am limber, I am healthy, I am strong. So all that is going to transpire to your life. And you cheat, I be eating crap once in a while, and I don't stretch all the time. I don't work out all the time, right? But I am limber, I am healthy, I am strong, I am young, right? That's a sample of the things that I say to myself. And there's more aspects of me. The money, right? I say ideas flow through me. Money comes to me easily. Ideas come to me easily. I am abundant. I am a good manager of money, right? Because this life is also, there's a financial aspect to it. You have to cover that too. Like, I was poor. My mind was so broke. Not anymore. Bank account doesn't matter. What matters is what I have learned to know about me and what I believe about me, right? Affirmations. So the 369 is going to be first, talk about yourself. And then you can talk about what you are to your children. I am a good father. I listen to my children. I understand my children. I put myself in my children's shoes. I discipline my children with love, right? I have a great relationship with all of my kids. I am a good example to my kids, right? To your partner, I communicate great with my partner. My partner and I are growing in intimacy. I am a good husband, a good wife, a good girlfriend. I enjoy being single. I love my time of solitude, right? I am creating the person that gets to have an amazing partner, right? Because if you're single, you're having trouble with relationships, become that person. That's part of your affirmations. As a worker, as an employee, or an entrepreneur, or however you get your money. I am responsible. I am organized. That's something that I really, that was part of my affirmations. I am organized. I am disciplined. I use my time wisely, right? Out of body, let's do that, right? And a lot of y'all follow me because of the out of body state. So put your affirmations there. I remember when I exit my body. I remember all these realms that I have been, and all these universes and all these planets that I've been a part of. I remember who I was in the past. I get to see direction in the outer body. I remember when I exit my body. I am fearless. Or let's replace that for I am courageous. I am, you see, everything is in the present. That's a very important part of your affirmations. Speak about them as though they were, and they are, right? So what you do is you do all these affirmations, you write them down and you say them out loud and you feel them in your heart, and you do them 3 times in the morning. What's more important than making life what you want it to be? What's more important than that? Nothing. So you take your time every morning 3 times, you read your affirmations, and then you write them down, right? You write them down 3 times in the morning. Take some time, carve some time out of your schedule to do that. Then midday, see how those affirmations are coming to pass. I am peace, I am light, I am love. Feel that peace. See how from 8 a.m. at work till noon now, you have found peace. You're more organized. You're going to see it happen in real time. And the more you train your brain, the more you're going to see the miracles happening. Think about those morning affirmations as you write the 6 in the afternoon, midday. And then before you go to bed or at night, before you go and practice your out-of-body state, or before you get home if you need to remind yourself of some of them things. But at night, do it 9 times. I promise you it'll change your life. It will absolutely bring everything in that list to pass. I am a living testament of that. I'm going to add a PDF or a document to the description of this video so you can have them and copy them if you want to, change them however you want. But say your affirmations 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night. That's the 369. Another way, a practical thing to do is being aware of your thinking, right? And you do that by the way you feel. The issue with my daughter is she's afraid of that something may happen that already happened in the past a couple of times. Whenever she revisits that topic, behind that one topic, there is fear attached to it. Same with the outer body, right? Let's say before you knew about the outer body, you were having sleep paralysis and your dimensional spaces are full of whatever was in your mind, and you got afraid, and you have that attachment of fear to your practice of the outer body state, right? Very easy. Start commanding, which is an affirmation. I am at peace while I practice. I am courageous while I practice. I am confident while I practice the OBE. That's what I told her. Instead of having thoughts of fear around that situation, have thoughts of love for that situation. Be grateful for that situation, right? You don't get to be courageous unless you're scared. Be grateful for the fear that comes to you as well, and just overcome it with courage, right? Awareness, right, is another practical thing to do. For example, and I used this on the last video, but it just happened not too long ago, a couple days ago. My wife and I had a disagreement, and I felt her anger and I felt my anger rising. And in the past, we would have get loud. We would have been angry at each other for a couple hours, maybe a couple days. But because of awareness, I felt that. I'm like, I don't like this. This emotion is not what I am. I took that emotion. It's okay to feel it. And I went and I say sorry. And I hug her. Baby, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't do anything. I didn't yell. I didn't do anything. But when I felt that emotion building up, I went and I said sorry. And she embraced me and she said, no, Daddy, I'm sorry. I'm frustrated. But it opened up to a conversation of growth, right? She got her 369 too. She did it. And it transformed her life as well. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. That's not what this is about. It's about progression. Right? Practice makes progress. So whenever you have an emotion that is very real, stop. Analyze that emotion. That's another practical thing to do. You're doing your 369, you're in the clouds, you feel awesome, and then the motherfucker in front of you slam on the brakes, and your reaction is to step on the horn and be angry and these people don't know how to drive. Whatever you say, something different. Right? That's going to be a new affirmation that's going to help you rewire your brain. Neuroplasticity. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Instead of letting thought go like that, just make those neurons have distance between each other, and they'll rewire with the new thought that is going to bring what you want to create truly, and not what you created thus far. Affirmations, consistency, right? Don't do the 369 today and expect for your whole earth to change. Miracles happen, I swear to you, on everything. You gotta be like, oh crap, I looked at that different, I handled that different, right? You're gonna feel that, you're gonna really experience that, right? Some of us, these patterns of thinking have taken over our life. They took over my life at some point in time, right? That poverty, that anger, that insecurity was me. That had become my character, my personality, right? And seeing how I handle life today is a miracle. And it took you your whole life to feel a certain way, and it can change in a couple of months, in a couple of days, in a couple of weeks, in a couple of seconds of truly believing these affirmations. Because what happened is, whenever you change the present feeling about a past situation, that past changes too. And that's a miracle. Same as that future, but everything happens here. So be persistent. Repeat to replace, right? Repeat it. Even in the middle of the day, whenever you want to be, I am grateful. Whenever you want to feel poor, say it. I am grateful even for this car that just broke down. I am grateful for that man that just cheated on me, because he's going to make me stronger. He's going to make me more resilient. He's going to make me understand how to make better choices in the future. We become addicted, and he talks a lot about that on these books, but we have become addicted to this different neurotransmitters that guide every protein in our body, and every creation in our physical body is guided by different proteins that get triggered by a neurotransmitter. And a lot of us lived a long time addicted on cortisol. Fight or flight, fear, anger, they all come from cortisol, right? We want to replace those with endorphins, with oxytocin. This is not to get you addicted to any of these neurotransmitters. It's for you to continue to become the divine creator that you are. Look at yourself in the mirror when you're saying it. Look into your soul. You see, they say the eyes are the window to your soul. If you want to practice in front of the mirror, it's a great exercise. I got a very dear, my best friend, one of my bestest friends, my brother. He tell me, bro, can you look at yourself in the mirror in the eyes? I'm like, and when I told him that a couple months ago, I kept looking away. I'm like, why am I not looking at my eyes? And then just stay there and sit there and look at your eyes, and you'll see a window to your soul. Do the 369, looking at yourself in the mirror. It's going to be amazing, and repeat it. Be consistent about it. Be constant about it. It's nothing more important in life than to create what you want. And your words, first thing in the morning, God knows, this is what I say. I say, I'm young, I'm strong, I'm limber, and I am healthy. I'm 44 years old, and I have not taken great care of my body. Now, I'm not horrible towards it, but I ate shit my whole life. I did a big amount of drugs. I smoked cigarettes for a long time. I don't drink as much water as I should, right? But I'm young, I'm strong, I'm limber, and I'm healthy, because the will of the soul overpowers all of that. Now, do you have to be responsible for this body? Of course. I'm not horrible with it. I work out a little bit, not much. I'm getting better at that. I am eating better. You see, I'm doing my affirmations right now. I am young, I am strong, I am limber, I am healthy. Command your life into existence. That's what affirmations are. You're commanding for life and the universe and situations and people and everything around you to manufacture your reality. It took you a whole lifetime to be where you're at. Be patient with yourself. Do those two. Do your 369, and then be aware of your emotions. Be aware of the emotional management system. Emotions are a GPS, not a steering wheel, right? An emotion is meant to show you a direction, but you got the wheel. You decide if you're taking that road or not, right? So emotions are a GPS, a guiding PS, right? It's global positioning system, but I couldn't come up with an acronym for it. But GPS, we all know what it is. It's something that guides you. Just because the GPS tell you to make a right, if you know that it's closer this way, you're not going to take the right. You're going to take the left, right? So it's just to guide you. It doesn't steer for you. Well, if you got a Tesla and some cars now that, you know, the GPS, you see, they making everything so comfortable for us, we don't even have to think anymore. But yet, think. Use your emotional guiding system to tell you what you're thinking. So once you feel it, you're aware, and you get to replace it for a different affirmation. So you are already affirming, you're already commanding. Your whole life is that which you have spoken about. Those words turn into thoughts, images in your brain that you don't see them, you don't always see it. But anytime that you think something is so, you don't get to see it yet, but when you exit your body, when you go to the other side, you see all your dimensional spaces. I was watching an NDE, and this nurse was told on the other side to stop thinking about this other nurse in the way that she was, because she was told by this being of light that her thoughts were affecting the way that person behaved. Of course they did, because you are manufacturing your own reality. So if you're thinking bad thoughts about that person, you're the one experiencing it. So your reality is experiencing the bad thoughts that you have about that person. That makes sense. So your thoughts are part of these commands and these affirmations, because a lot of our conversations happen up here. Whenever you're going to jump, you're on that cliff, on that precipice, and you have to take that jump, and that fear is stopping you because of past experiences, stand on the edge and jump. Say, I am courageous. I am brave. I'm going to go talk to that girl. I'm going to go for that promotion. I'm going to start that channel. Say it. If that's your, whatever it is that you want, and then talk about your future self as if it's present. Add that one to your 369. I am a worldwide influencer. I speak in front of people the truth. I am a phenomenal recipient to download information that I'm putting into a text for y'all to read. I am a phenomenal father. I am a phenomenal spouse. Even if you're not, talk about your future as if it is present. I don't talk on my ass. Whatever you hear me say in this channel is personal experience. And I am so excited for you to take the route of commanding through affirmations your whole life, and becoming and remembering that which you came to be. Remember, you came here to transmute thoughts. That's what we came here. That's what's coming through in this text that I'm writing. I'm not releasing the title yet. I see myself selling billions of copies. That's how powerful I see what's coming, what's being downloaded. But a lot of it's when I speak on my channel, I use a lot of that information too, because it's in me already. I'm remembering, right? We didn't come here for the easy life, for the comfortable life. That's what I'm saying. Be also grateful for the struggle, because that is the most important part of Earth. You came here to be that which you are not, and replace that for who you are. And then on the next stage, you do it. And then you do it on the next level. And you continue to gain understanding to create not only here, but all the other versions of you are also benefiting from that, which you are doing here. Here, right? Looks shitty at times down here. And sometimes it's incomprehensible what we're going through. But just remember that you came for all of it, to experience all of it. The craziness of the storm and the surface, but you also came here to go deep to the depths where it's quiet and peaceful. It's your choice. You choose by the things that you say, where you stay at for the most of your life. You choose your programming, and it becomes your personality. That's the thing. Stop saying things like that. When something that is not what you want it to be happens, say thank you. That's coming through this too. Because what is happening to you is happening for your growth. Say thank you, because you are becoming a stronger creator. What do you take when you leave? What do you take with you? Material. What material that you can ever build here do you take with you? Not even the clothes, not even this body. You don't take it. You take every memory that you keep and the ones that you leave on someone else's. Speak that. I leave people better than I find them. I live with my heart open to love and to be hurt. My body's experiencing this pain so that I learn how to manage energy and then transmute that pain into pleasure. Also giving me on this text that's coming through this download, it talks about pain management too, and it'll be crazy how awesome we can manage pain in life. And I do it. I'm paying attention too. I'm learning too. I'm talking to you from teacher-student perspective, because everything that I'm telling you, I'm doing it myself. I hope that this video found you where it found you, in a good place or in a good place, because they're all a good place. Know that with your words, right? The power in Proverbs, I got it right here. Proverbs 18:21, death and life are in the power of the tongue. There's more about that in James. Read James if you read the Bible. If not, you just take what you can from that and use it. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transform your whole life. I want you to leave me comments on this video if this is resonating, if this is changing you in any way, your perspective, and if it's anything different than what you heard before. But let's do the 369. Post I am this, I am that. Put it on top, on all caps, 369, so that I can rejoice with you. I read all your comments because my channel allows me to still do that. I'll probably never stop doing that because this is the reason I do it. If no one told you that they love you today or yesterday, this morning, I love you. I love you. I love you because I love myself. And I love the good. I love the bad because I'm not all good. I also have a little darkness to me. I love the ugly because I'm not all beautiful. And I love the beauty. I love it all. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the beauty. I love all of it because it's all lovable. Always someone there with a heart for you. And that's you. So let's speak our life into existence. Say it out loud too. Whenever I speak whenever I'm meditating and I start commanding things, whole energy shift. All my hair sticks up. I even scare myself sometimes because of how intense it feels around me. Because it has to be intense because I'm molding matter. I'm managing energy right here on earth. Changing what is to what really is. I'm proud of you. I love you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Love ya.